Hey everybody, welcome to My Chamber TV. You know, we're the ones that goes out and about and gives you all the great stuff and talks to all the wonderful chambers. But really, the show's about the chamber members. So today, we're in Safety Harbor. Our location is the Crooked Thumb, and this place is awesome, and they make tons of beer, tons of ale. It's really good. But my first guest today is Jeremiah Khokhar, and you are a photog. Right? I hate when people do that to me. You're a photog. Yeah, I'm a walking camera. That's what I am. But you're a photographer that does a lot of concert and event and landscape. I've never heard the landscape side of it. So
yeah, I do a pretty broad range of things. I started out almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And started out in the event and concert.
That's a rough world.
It is, well, I don't know. I actually love it. I'm a musician. So
oh, well, okay.
There was sort of a natural fit
Yes.
there with the music and understanding how instruments and musicians behave and act. But yeah, over the course of my career, over the last 10 years, I have decided every year to move a little bit closer to becoming a portrait photographer. And so that was the sort of the impetus and the reason behind me opening up my very first studio here in the city of Safety Harbor.
In Safety Harbor.
In Safety Harbor.
Nice.
Incidentally, you'll be interested to know this little factoid, that my first studio is also the first place Crooked Thumb Brewery started.
Wow.
On the corner of 9th Avenue and Harbor Lake Court in Safety Harbor.
That's called Synergy.
That's called Synergy, yes. I still get some junk mail addressed to Kip.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, wow.
So, yes, so I do a broad range of work. I have been serving at the City of Clearwater as a contractor over the last 9 years, and
Nice.
I've been in charge of special event and concert photography for the city.
Okay.
And I've got clients all over the world, and have done everything you could possibly imagine that a photographer could aim and point a camera to.
Right.
I actually got hired by Visit Florida based on one Instagram post that I had made from going to MacDill Air Force Base several years ago, and they saw that photograph and hired me to go shoot Sun and Fun in Lakeland, which is a very large air show.
That's an awesome air show.
So I got to be Visit Florida's photographer at that air show a few years ago, just because I decided to go to MacDill Air Force Base one day and take some photos of these birds flying around in the air. So I strived really hard in the beginning, and still to a certain degree, of not putting myself in a pigeonhole creatively and saying I'm a this kind of a photographer or I'm a that kind of a photographer.
That's a good idea.
Two reasons for that. Number one, Tampa Bay in general, where we live here in Florida, I feel as though since our largest industry is tourism, I didn't really see fashion or just headshots or any other kind of specialty as being enough for me to make a living out of.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, I'm easily bored. Very easily bored. And I love that one day I could be in my studio photographing a model. The next day, it's a 2-year-old birthday party that I'm going to at someone's home. Tomorrow I've got a shoot for a client in North St. Pete. It's a real estate shoot. Mm-hmm. And then when I come back at noon, I have a branding shoot for a yoga teacher at noon. And then at 6 o'clock, senior VP at GE Aviation is coming to get his headshot done at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Wow.
So that's my day. It's like very diverse.
You're literally very diverse. I mean, that's you're going from kid to model to headshot. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, and this is sort of like the underbelly of what we do as creatives. I'm sure you can appreciate this. I'm sure viewers at home that are creative can appreciate this. You know, it's like if you bake, there's two truths that work synonymously. One is do a few things really well. Right? You can't be good at everything.
Right, correct.
Like I'm not good at putting screws or nails in walls straight. I don't know how to do that.
Right.
So I don't. But the truth is that you can't be good at everything, but the other reciprocal side of that coin is Photography is made up of two Greek words. And those two Greek words, we get the word photo, which is light, and graphy, which means to draw or paint. So photography at its core is the ability to learn how to control light and therefore to use light to paint. See, when you look at a photograph online or in a magazine and it looks like there's emotion and color and texture, the truth is that all of those things are just made up of light parts.
That's correct.
And dark parts.
That's correct.
And so it's silly to assume that, when you pick up your phone or your camera and you look at the lens, it's silly to assume that texture will walk through that glass.
That's
it doesn't.
correct. Right.
Emotion doesn't walk through that
Nope.
glass. So the only thing that walks through that glass is light. So that's the other reason why I never chose to specialize. I feel like I have two Instagram accounts, for example. And I have two Instagram accounts because I decided that there were really two basic core portions of my brand. If you were a bride, or if you're a professional looking for new headshots, you don't want to sift through aviation and landscape and
No.
tourism related
That's correct.
photography. So I have separated my brand, but you could go to either one of them and tell that's the same photographer that's taking
That's
them.
correct.
Because if you can control light, I hear photographers, I'm sure you do too, I hear photographers say ad nauseum, oh, that's really bad lighting. There's no such thing as bad lighting. There's just bad photographers.
Right.
It's your inability to control light. I mean, we're sitting here at Crooked Thumb, and I'm looking at three pretty large banks of light that are illuminating us. But I'm sure at home, watching this show, it looks like we're just sort of in the
Sitting there,
ambient light.
we're just chilling.
Yes. So it's your crew's ability to control and manage the light here
That's correct.
that allows this TV show to not just be fun and entertaining, informative, but also to look like a couple of yahoos didn't produce this.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Simple.
Yeah, exactly. So what really got you into photography?
So,
There has to be that driving force.
yes. You want the short answer or the long one?
Well, we got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. So there's the medium answer.
Okay, medium answer.
So my wife bought a camera from Costco when our second child was born in 2008.
Right. Okay.
And I was against that decision because I didn't think anyone in their right mind spent $1,000 on a camera and a lens from Costco. It just didn't make any sense to me. And we had a Nikon point and shoot, which I thought was just fine. Got everything I thought we needed as far as family memories and photos of the kids. So I, of course, ridiculed her, made fun of the fact that we had it, thought it was a silly purchase. And of course, being a dad, a proud dad, wanting to show off, this was the early days for me on social media.
Right.
So it was just one thing to do, right? So I took photos of my kids and I posted them on social media. And that was 2009. And fast forward a couple years to 2011, I'm again wasting time like many of us, if we're being honest, have done
Yep.
on Facebook.
Right.
It's probably where you're watching this right now on Facebook. But I saw a post made by the city of Clearwater advertising a festival in Clearwater called the Clearwater Jazz Holiday.
Great event.
Great event. And that was a Monday in October, the third Monday in October. And they said, hey, this Thursday, kicking off 4-day festival. I had no clue. I clicked on the link, saw the lineup. And when I saw Maceo Parker's name headlining Saturday night, now something you should know about me is my daughter's name is Ella. And when we adopted our first dog, we named him Louie. So what kind of music do you think I listened to, John?
A little bit of blues, a little bit of jazz.
Yes, exactly. So I really wanted to go see Maceo play his saxophone. I typed a comment, not expecting any response. To fast forward the story, there was a response. Through Providence, it was made possible for me to go to this festival as a complete nobody, not a photographer. I went, took some photos. First night, Thursday night, was Kevin Eubanks from The Late Show.
Yes, yes.
And I didn't know how to turn my flash off
Oh, no.
in 2011.
Right.
I didn't realize that on the camera there's a little button with a flash icon with a line through
Yes,
it. I
no
didn't
flash.
know that.
Right.
So when they yelled at me, this is the other photographers, when they yelled at me, I just put my left 2 fingers on the flash to hold the flash down and continued shooting in auto mode. And I figured it out for the second night, the no flash auto mode. Fast forward, and then that following spring, City of Clearwater wrote a 2-page article about me in the My Clearwater magazine. And that was the birth of a career that I wasn't expecting to have.
That's awesome.
And so that's the long version of the story. The short version would have been, I've been a creative my whole life, and I just didn't understand that. See, when I was in college, I worked as a chef for 7 years, through school and post-grad.
Right.
And before that, when I was 16, my grandfather gave me a guitar, a really cheap, poorly made instrument, but it was my first guitar, and I learned 3 chords. So when this thing happened with the camera and Jazz Holiday in 2011, it was not hard for me to look back at my life, and not a proverbial, but a true light bulb went off in my brain that said, I've been an artist my entire life. I've been about creating. And so there you have it.
Wow. That is a great story. That is a good backstory. That is awesome. So where can people find you?
On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Jeremiah Khokhar. That's Jeremiah Khokhar.
Okay.
My studio is located on the corner of 9th Avenue and Harbor Lake Court in an industrial building. I'd love to see you. I'd love to have an opportunity to create art for you and help tell your story.
That's awesome. All right, folks, if you need some beautiful photography done, there you go. You know how to get a hold of this young man. All right, so stick around. Go get you some coffee, wine, beer, whatever you're drinking right now, that's fine. And we're going to have Jerry come on, Jerry Slutsky. He's a good attorney. We'll talk to you right after this. All right, everybody, we're back. Now we're with Jerry Slutsky. We've met before.
Yes.
And estate planning. And I mean, that's a crazy one. Because to me, it's the scariest thing of all, because it has to deal with everything that I own and what my kids will get if I want them to get it, right?
Well, it shouldn't be scary, though, because when you think about it, none of us get out alive.
I'm living forever, Jerry. I'm just saying, I'm living forever. I'm not going to die.
I did have one client who said, you know how people say you can't take it with you? Well, until I can figure out how to take it with me, I ain't going.
I like that, actually. That's pretty good. Let's talk about what you do.
Sure. Well, you know, estate planning doesn't have to be a scary thing. You know, all of us want to protect our loved ones.
Right.
People talk about, oh, the probability of going into a nursing home is this, or the probability of that. Well, we have a 100% probability, unfortunately, of passing away.
We are going to pass away. Right.
So we just don't know when. So the whole idea is to get it done as soon as possible and protect your loved ones.
Right.
Now, I in addition to doing probate, I also do probate, estate planning, and business law. So those are my 3 primary practices, and I limit it to those because I'm also a certified financial planner and,
Oh, wow.
and investment advisor. So
Okay.
that's a whole separate business.
Yeah.
But so there's a limited amount of time available.
But you understand both sides of it, which
Yes.
makes it better for your client.
Exactly.
Because you're like, well, we're gonna get you here, but to get you here, I'm gonna protect this over there.
Exactly.
Right.
So the point is, as long as we know that this unfortunate event is eventually going to happen to us, we want to protect our loved ones.
Right.
Now, most people who call me, first of all, only about 30% of the people ever get around to actually even doing a will. So if you don't do that, the law writes one for you. That's known as the intestacy statutes, and you might not necessarily like what they provide. For example, if you're married, no children, very clear, even without a will, your wife inherits everything.
Right.
If you have children of that marriage, the wife still inherits everything. But if you have, say, children from a previous marriage,
Right.
now your wife only gets half and the children get half.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And so there are all sorts of permutations and combinations
Okay.
that most people aren't aware of. So a simple will is what people usually call me about.
Okay.
But when I start inquiring, my job is to figure out what can go wrong with what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
So while most people want to do a simple will, I leave giving everything to my wife and then my kids, and they think they're done. Well, the problem is, if you're leaving it to your children, are the children minors? If they're minors, if they're under 18, they cannot legally inherit property. So now you have to open up a guardianship for the
Right.
kids, and then they inherit everything at 18. Do you want an 18-year-old to come into a big chunk of money?
No.
Most people say no.
No.
Yeah, and similarly, if, God forbid, one of your children pass away before you, leaving children of their own,
Right.
you want to protect the grandchildren as
Correct,
well.
yeah.
So in many cases, a revocable living trust really is the best way to go. Similarly, if you own a house, you cannot name a beneficiary on a house. So say you and your wife own a house together,
Right.
and you're killed in a car crash. One of you is killed and the other lingers for a few days. Well, the survivor definitely does inherit the house, but now the house goes through probate. Probate is expensive. My minimum fee in a probate estate is $5,000, and it goes up from there. And it takes 6 months to a year, whereas with a revocable living trust, it can be done extremely fast.
Wow.
Yeah. So a trust is a very powerful thing, and it has hidden benefits as well.
Okay.
Say you are the person who's created the trust. You're known as the trustor or the grantor or the settlor. There are a lot of different names for it. But if you become incapacitated, you're not capable of handling your own financial affairs,
Right.
whoever is your successor trustee can step into your shoes and take over for you without the necessity of a guardianship being filed for you.
Okay.
And again, similarly, when you're talking with your kids or your grandkids, you can delay when they come into their money.
Okay.
Like when I did my trust, my kids were 8 and 5. They're in their 30s now. But I was just recently out of a divorce, friendly divorce. I trust my former wife completely with my kids and their finances. But I wanted to protect the children from themselves. So what it provided is that my children would get an income from the trust until they're 40.
Ooh.
Now, the trustee does have the discretion to dip into the trust for what we call HEMS, for reasons of health, education, maintenance, and support. Health is pretty clear. If they need a medical procedure, they
Right.
can use the principle of the trust. Same thing for going to college or getting a master's degree. Maintenance and support is a little bit more nebulous, but it basically means that we want the trustee to be able to give the kids extra money if they need it. We
Right.
don't want the kids thrown on the street just because they can't afford to pay rent.
Right.
And then in my trust, it provided they could put 10% down on a house. They can buy a reasonably priced automobile. Reasonable is determined by the trustee, not the
Right,
child.
right.
Otherwise, my kids would want a Maserati. But beyond that, some people provide that they'll get, say, $10,000 if they get married, or some sort of reward for graduating college. You can put in all sorts of reward situations as long as it's not illegal.
Right.
But beyond that, they would get the chunk of the money, the big chunk. They would get a third when they turn 30, They get half of what's left at 35, and then the balance at 40. So now I have protected the kids from themselves. Say they get married to the wrong person, they've inherited 1/3 of it,
Yeah.
they get a divorce, they're wiped out. Okay, they got another chunk of money coming.
Right.
Now they start a business, that fails. They have one last chance
Right.
to get it right.
That's smart. I think isn't that the golden age? 30 is like all of a sudden we become a little smarter.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, and it's until you're 30, you're like, what was I thinking?
I don't know. I think I was 40 when I was 25. I bought my first condo when I was 25.
Okay.
I've always been pretty responsible. Yeah, but I love my kids. They're trying, but they still don't quite get it financially. I love you. I'm sorry. But I do try to protect them, and I'm there for them.
So let's talk about, I know there's something else. You have a book.
Yes, about 10 years ago, I hydroplaned into a tree at 70 miles an hour. Thank you for letting me walk away from it.
Right.
The car was totaled. I was down in Bradenton, so while I'm standing by the side of I-75 in the pouring rain, waiting for a friend to come get me from Tampa, I'm thinking, okay, that could have been it. I am an estate planning attorney, so I've had my documents done for over 20 years now. But what about everything else? My brother, I wasn't married at the time, so my brother was my successor trustee. He doesn't know anything about my life down here. He's in Chicago, I'm in Tampa. So I'm thinking, okay, what if I was in a coma? He doesn't know who my doctors are, what medications I'm on, what I'm allergic to. I have 2 businesses, so I have employees, I have landlords. I have 30 different bills that are automatically paid out of 3 different banking accounts or charged to 3 different credit cards.
And if someone doesn't know that.
Yes. So I think of all the things that you might want to know. So I figured if Mr. Anal Retentive doesn't have all of this stuff written down, probably most of my clients don't either. And sometimes it's just a matter of giving them a guide. So it took 7 years, but I actually wrote a book. It's called My Everything File. It's available on Amazon, but it's also available at www.myeverythingfile.com. And it provides 330 pages just of scenarios of things that your loved ones may need to know about you if something happens to you. And it's not just about the stuff. It's not about your assets and your debts, your insurance, things like that. There's a whole section on creating a family legacy. You know, my father passed away when he was 100 years old. He's my hero. He loved being a lawyer. He practiced law till he was 96.
Wow.
So my book is actually dedicated to him.
Nice.
But what I learned from him is if nobody writes down the stories, what happens to your family history? So here he was 100 years old. He was the last surviving member of his entire generation in my family.
Wow.
And so if he hadn't told us stories about his parents and grandparents, they grew up in Russia. My dad was born here in the US. Those stories are gone forever. So there's a whole section on helping you to create a legacy where you're interviewing the elders of your family, finding out about their parents, bringing it down to your generation, and then just creating something that can be passed down through the generations. I just love the idea that maybe it's ego, but I would love my great grandkids to know that I love performing on stage in Broadway musicals and ballroom dancing with my wife.
That's awesome. So now, can people go to your website and find this as well?
There is a link to it, but
Excellent.
It's $29.95. If you let me do your estate plan, it's free to my clients.
There you go. So hey, look. If it's that time, we're all going to die. We're all going to pass away sometime. You need to get it all done right? Call Jerry. Stick around. We have another interview coming up. We'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you for joining us. We're here actually promoting the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce, and we're right here in downtown Safety Harbor. And I happen to have, luckily enough, Susan Peterson with us.
How about that?
I know, how about that? Well, you know, it's really great to have you come on board because you're president and CEO, a lot of experience. How long have you been with the Safety Harbor?
A little over 7 years now.
Very nice. Well, I'll tell you, you've really pulled things together. It has the pulse of my heartbeat in Safety Harbor.
Oh, that's so nice to know.
Well, there's so much to do here. I mean, we're actually here at the Candlelight Suites, and we were talking about how their business has grown, how the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce has helped them. You engage with one another. The businesses are really hopping.
They are. It was just so nice to see actually new businesses opening up when people thought businesses might be shutting down.
Right.
So that hasn't happened. And traffic on Main Street is getting busier all the time.
See, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That is such a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, I know last month when we interviewed and all, you were hoping that you would be opening up for some of the events that you've been waiting for. We've all been waiting for. How's that going now at this point in time?
At this point, the topic that everyone wants to know about is Third Friday, and unfortunately we just don't know yet with some of the new rules put on by the county about large-scale events. I don't know when we'll be able to close Main Street for an event, but we are planning our big event in May at the Waterfront Park.
Okay.
So we're very thankful to have that space. And we will be able to comply with county safety precautions, and we're planning to have that event.
Very good. So a little bit at a time here.
Yeah.
But I find it so fascinating. Everyone we've been interviewing lately has been new businesses that opened up either before COVID or in the midst, and they're still thriving and striving. So it's an exciting time for everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So what else is going on that you can think of? I know you're going in all kinds of different directions.
Well, because we had to cancel some major fundraisers last year, we are trying to fundraise as much as we can. We have a brand new event for us coming on Monday night, March 22nd at the Crooked Thumb Brewery. It's called Bites and Brews Benefit. And that's benefiting our Safety Harbor Chamber Foundation. And also Ready for Life is going to benefit from it, and we're really excited about that. We have some of our restaurants participating. There'll be great food. There are still a few tickets left. We are limiting the number of tickets to allow for proper social distancing, but there are some left.
I think we interviewed someone last month for this, if I'm not mistaken.
It could be.
Yeah, that is exciting. And what was the date on that again?
It's Monday, March 22nd.
Monday. What's the hours?
It's from 6 to 9.
6 to 9, okay.
And you can buy tickets at safetyharborchamber.com.
Okay. And how much are the tickets?
It's $35 a person. And there's sampling of restaurant food from 8 different restaurants, Safety Harbor restaurants, and Cash Bar by Crooked Thumb Brewery. Yeah. And we're having a silent auction too.
Oh, very good. See,
Yeah.
this is music to my ears.
Yeah. It's kind of a mini version of what we used to be able to do. Taste of Safety Harbor was a big event.
Oh, yes, it was.
Every year.
Yeah.
So this it's kind of a takeoff on it, and it uses a great outdoor space, Crooked Thumb Brewery. Yeah.
There are so many great outdoor spaces there. I mean, you could just go door to door to door to door and just have a field day. In fact, we were talking about that, how the town, when it's opened up and all, staying here at the Suites, you're like minutes away.
Oh yeah, right
and
around
that's
the corner.
such a selling point for people coming here. And people are actually coming here to stay at the hotel locally. Local yokels that are coming here and maybe 5 minutes away. And, you know, if they don't know what's happening in Safety Harbor, the hotel shares that with them.
Great.
So
yeah,
that
it's
is
a great
good.
space here.
Yeah,
We love it.
absolutely. So what else is going on?
We're also planning a golf tournament in April 24th at Chichi Rodriguez Golf Club. That was a great event that we did last November, so we're going to do it again. And we're excited about that. Another outdoor event that we can have.
And when's that again?
April 24th,
April
Saturday,
24th.
at Chichi Rodriguez Golf Club.
Okay, that's golf. So we've got those 2 outdoor events.
And then May 22nd and 23rd is our big art and seafood on the waterfront. It's fine art and great local seafood. And we have some really nice entertainment this year. Saturday night, we have the Black Honkies performing on stage from 7 to 9. And then we have on Sunday, Sweet Lick performing from 4 to 6.
I bet that is going to be a huge turnout.
It's the perfect setting for this event. You know, hopefully the weather will cooperate and it'll be another good one for us.
And the date on that?
May 22nd and 23rd.
Oh, 2 days. Good. Very
days,
good.
yeah.
That's really good that you're able to do the Fine Arts Festival.
Yes.
Oh,
we have
that's
high hopes for that.
fabulous. Fabulous. And you have a lot of local artists in the area,
We
too.
have a lot of locals in the area, but this festival draws them from all over the country.
Does it, like
Yes,
from where?
It's a juried fine art.
Ah.
They're from, you know, up north, out west. Yeah. And
You know, and that's a lot to go through, you know, after the COVID and having to get tested and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that you'll probably still have a good turnout because people are ready to get out and get moving and do things.
we have more artists applied to be in it this year than ever. I think they're all, like you said, dying to get out, dying to be a part of something. And the jury is now working for the next week to select the artists. And
Nice.
we're excited about the quality of art that will be there.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear about that. And so coming fall, I mean, I know you guys have to plan far out. And
Oh, yeah.
then with the restrictions in here, you have to adhere to all of that. So it sounds like, I mean, you're doing well and moving forward, doing what you have to do.
We are. You have to think outside the box a little bit, but we're doing it. We do have a huge event that we traditionally do in October that we're planning, which is outdoor on Main Street. So hopefully we'll be able to continue plans with that. That's our big Harbor Sounds Fall Fest on Main
Okay.
in October.
That's going to be really nice because it's a nice weather in October.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it
it's
gets a
hot,
little warm.
but we manage.
But you know what? I don't know. Even I'm bothered by the heat. Even I don't mind just spraying myself down with clear water and just going out and just being outside. There's just something so grateful about that in
Yes,
being to do so.
we're fortunate. We were talking about that just the other day at the chamber, how Main Street has so many outdoor restaurants where you can come out and do, you know, where the people up north, you know, they're still cooped inside.
I know.
We're very fortunate to have our weather and our outdoor seating.
Well, I don't know, but there's a lot of those northerners coming down here
There
looking
are.
for real estate because they are done and over it. Thing
Yeah,
is
sure.
we don't have a whole lot available, but come on down anyway. We'll take you on tours in Safety Harbor. And I love the fact that you mentioned that there are a lot of restaurants that are open and beautifully open. If you could see some of the restaurants that is just so tastefully decorated and following the social distance rules and guidelines and all of that, you know, we just make it work.
Yes.
We
Yes.
just make it work to be able to get out there and visit with friends. It's a different feeling anymore.
Safety Harbor's been very resilient to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a family within the town here. And
Yeah,
I know
it
you.
is.
How many members do you have with Safety Harbor?
We're about 320 members.
Are you? Very nice. And with all these new businesses opening, it's obviously increased in spite of the pandemic,
Right,
COVID, all
right.
of that.
That's right.
Yeah, survival is very good. Being able to strive and thrive. Haven't seen any closed doors in there when I.
No,
No. So that's fabulous. So you're a little busy these days?
just a little.
What keeps you
we-
busy?
we
What's
have
a
a-
day in your life?
Oh my gosh. You know, you're answering many emails. We're serving 320 members with what they need. We're planning actually 5 events right now are on our plate. And we're a staff of 2. We do rely on volunteers that help us run the visitor center, which is nice. They kind of greet people as they come in and let us have time to do our work. But we're doing it.
You are doing it. I never realized how important the Chamber of Commerce's are till we started doing these chamber shows, and that's been 7.5 years ago. You would be amazed at what you can find out through your local chamber. And if you know of anybody that's thinking of opening a business or trying to get out there and reach more people, and you live in this area, contact Susan, contact the visitor center over here at Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce. You will be so delighted that you did. And it's amazing all of the press that you get locally from businesses, over 300 members, that's nothing to sneeze about. No wonder you're so busy, girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, we're just all about connecting people with the people they need to be doing business with. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Connections are critical today, as you know. So I hope that you will check out Safety Harbor and come on down here, see if we can't find homes and suites for you right here at the Candlelight Suite Hotel.
Yeah.
You're going to love it. Safety Harbor's where it's at.
Yeah.
Thank-
Okay, so great interviews now. We're going to talk to the chamber, and stick around, because coming up next is going to be Cricket Thumb, and I got the owner Kip. He's going to tell you all about this. But right now we're with Miss Annette Legere, and you have a mouthful. I'm just going to call you the coordinator.
Okay,
That sound
sounds
good?
good to me.
So
Yes.
what's going on at the chamber?
Oh my gosh, a lot's going on.
I mean,
look
look
at
at all
all
this
this. I had to bring my notes because I don't want to forget anything.
awesome.
But we're so excited because things are starting to pick up again and we
Yay.
can do things again.
Right.
So I'm not sure where to start, so I'll start with Third Friday. Everyone's heard about Third Friday music series.
Yes.
Well, we're going to it's going to be a little different because COVID, all these restrictions and so
Right.
forth. But we expect the county to say, hey, we can close Main Street again, start having some activities.
That would be
Right
awesome.
now we're promoting Shop Safety Harbor. The shops
Yeah.
are staying open late. There's music at the gazebo, and that will only increase as time allows and we get those approvals. So
We're getting there. We're getting
Third
close.
Friday, downtown
Friday.
Safety Harbor. It's
Right.
starting to happen again. So
Awesome. Now,
we got to be
is that going to be in April or going to be May?
the next Third Friday.
That is
So
awesome.
yeah,
That's,
in May.
next
Yeah,
week.
we had a little
Yeah, today.
entertainment.
No, it's this week. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Third Friday starting soon. Yeah.
Yes,
So mark your
that's
calendar,
awesome.
everyone. Third Friday
I'm
downtown
gonna be
Safety
there.
Harbor. It'll be a little different than in the past, but we're getting to the old format at some
awesome.
point. That's right. Yeah. And then we got a couple other things. We have a health and wealth event that's coming up. We have an
Okay.
annual health and wealth expo. It's really great. This year it's going to be at Nova Southeastern University.
Okay.
That's over there on the causeway, that beautiful blue
Yes.
campus that you see coming from
Yes.
Tampa to Clearwater. Looks beautiful at night when it's lit
Oh,
up.
it's all lit up? Yeah, it's
Yes,
pretty.
and I can't wait to see it during the day. Everyone brags on how lovely it
Okay.
is. But it's the Tampa Bay Regional Campus of Nova Southeastern University.
And what's this going to be
And
about?
this is a health and wealth expo. So we invite all vendors that have anything to do with health and or wealth.
Okay.
And we have sponsors and vendors. Vendors will set up their tables and display and run little tests and screenings if they want to. It'll be inside and partly outside because they have a lovely courtyard. And the sponsorship packages include a platinum sponsorship, and we have two sponsors, platinum sponsors, that we're really excited about. Baycare Meese, and they're going to provide nurses. They're going to have pre-screening, so you can get some testing done there that you might normally have done in a doctor's office or a
Right.
hospital. Yoga 6 will be there, and they're going to have two 30-minute workshops. So you'll learn how to relax and do different things. That yoga is a wellness category. So yeah, so be there for health and wealth. It's free. We expect about 500 guests, and we hope for a lot of vendors. We're certain that we'll have close to 50. That's our goal.
Right.
So yeah, so
That's
we're working
awesome.
on
Now,
that.
Is this open to the public?
This is open to the public, so you just show up at
admission?
no admission,
That's
absolutely free to the public. Saturday, June 26, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come in anytime during that period, or stay there the whole time because there's a lot to do, a lot of
Right.
workshops, a lot of vendors, very informative, and we're excited,
That
very
is
excited
absolutely
about
phenomenal.
it. Yeah, and then Art and Seafood is coming up. That's the Art and Seafood on the waterfront, that lovely park there on behind the spa on the bay near the marina. We'll have fine artists. It's a juried art show and some wonderful seafood. So you can eat. There'll be a beer truck, so you can have your beverages, you can have your food, seafood galore, and a few items for people who are not fond of seafood. So we got a nice variety.
Oh, good. So
yeah.
it doesn't leave the people that are not. I think I hear a lot of people. It comes from the sea. It's not for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you should be for you because it's really good.
It is really good,
you'll
but there's
have-
something for the person that
That's
doesn't want that.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
We want everyone to enjoy. And that's a 2-day event. It is Saturday and Sunday, May 22nd and 23rd. And we've got some live music too. On Sunday, well, I'm going backwards. Sunday we'll have Sweet Lick. They have a large following,
Yes.
a great local band. Oh my gosh, they're great. And they're at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Saturday, the Black Honkies, they too have a large following.
That is a good band.
Yeah. So you can Black Honkies, there's a beer truck or water, whatever you want. It's a place to have fun. So let's just hope the weather's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, it
It's
always
May.
is at our events. We've been really lucky. So
The chamber was it?
yeah.
They call that chamber weather.
Chamber weather, yes, yes. The reason people move to Florida and
That's
come to
it.
our events too.
Right.
And then let's see, Harbor Sounds, our Harbor Sounds Fall Fest. That is always the first Saturday in October. That was canceled last year because of COVID. However, we're planning this year's event again, and that's an all-day event on Main Street, downtown Safety
Okay.
Harbor. So 9 blocks of vendors that include food, art, fine art, arts and craft, and a variety of sponsors that want to display their information.
Wow.
The food is phenomenal. Plus all the boutiques on Main Street and
I
the
was gonna
food
say,
on
just
Main
the
Street. I
stores and
mean,
the food
yeah,
there
yeah,
is- that in
just
itself
the
is
venue,
huge.
right? Yeah,
Right.
and a block from the bay. So,
Will there be music?
and there will be music. Let's see.
Gotta be
Yes.
music. Music's
Lots
always
of music. The music will be performed at the gazebo right there on the 400 block in the middle of downtown. Talk about convenience.
Yes.
And the Greg Billings Band will perform. Stormbringer, they always bring a crowd. If
Yep.
you've not seen them, you got to see them. Same thing with Black Honkies. They'll be there again.
Boy.
They love performing in Safety Harbor.
Yep.
And the locals and the guests love to see them perform. So that's exciting. Noon to 10 p.m. on Saturday, October 2nd, Harbor Sounds, downtown Main Street. So
Yeah.
you just filled up your calendar, right?
Well, so if someone wants to be a vendor, are there still open booths?
Yes, contact the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Yes, you can call us or go online, just enter Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce, send an email to info, that's the automatic email that pops up, and I will respond to you and send you an application or for an event to be a vendor, food, art, craft, or sponsor.
Because you
It's
are
real easy.
the coordinator.
Yes,
You have a new
yes.
title with us, the
Yes, here's my
coordinator.
title, kind of
The
long, but that's
coordinator.
me. That's right. Member and Visitor Services Coordinator.
That's awesome.
And I'm here to help you. Yeah,
That's excellent.
yeah. So a lot going on, and we're
Well,
excited.
you do have a lot going on. So how's the chamber doing?
Chamber's doing well. We are recovering from COVID, and we're doing well. Traffic's picking up. We get a lot of visitors that stay in town, conventions and so forth at the Safety Harbor Resort and Spa, and they walk in. A lot of vacationers want to get out of the cold north and come to
Oh,
sunny
yeah.
Florida.
Right.
And what better place than Safety Harbor?
Yep.
So we get a lot of walk-ins. The locals love to see what's going on. They come in and buy some merchandise. We always have local T-shirts and things like that. So traffic is picking up.
Yes.
Things are getting back to normal, and
parking
we're
is good
excited.
in Safety Harbor.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
really is. There's a lot of available parking, a lot of parking on Main Street, but there's side streets, and
Yes.
there's parking lots on side streets as well. So
Right.
there really is a lot of places to park. You just got to get off Main Street and look for one, and
Right.
more than likely you'll find one. Most of the streets allow parking on the side streets. So no reason not to come to Safety Harbor
Now,
to one of our
if
events.
a visitor comes into Safety Harbor and they're a visitor, they don't really know everything, can they stop by the chamber and pick a map up?
We encourage them to stop by the chamber. We have a downtown map, we have a Pinellas County map, we have free Florida maps. The Tourism Bureau stocks our racks with a lot of brochures, maps, and discount coupons
Right.
and so forth. And then we stock with local things that will help the local visitors and that promote the businesses, small businesses in town. We got a dining guide. So yes, we encourage visitors to stop by.
Where is the chamber?
We are at 200 Main Street. We're on the corner of Main Street and 2nd Avenue South.
South, right.
I do get my north and south
I know,
mixed
I
up
know.
sometimes, but it is in the south corner. And we're right across from Starbucks, and we're 1 block from the pier and the marina, and a perfect location.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, folks, look, if you come to Safety Harbor, stop by and see.
Yes.
Pick up some stuff, get yourself some coffee, or come to the Crooked Thumb.
That's right.
Well, that's at 4 o'clock. Nope, 4. So that's when you're going to come here. Stick around. We got Kip coming up from Crooked Thumb, the location, and we will be right back after these messages. All right, welcome back. We have saved the best for last. We've been talking about, we're here at Crooked Thumb, right? And we're here with the owner, Kip. So, Kip.
Yes, sir.
How did you come up with Crooked Thumb?
Well, that's a good question. We struggled for a really long time to come up with a name. Safety Harbor, which is where we are, this is known as the health-giving city where the
Very
healing
healthy.
waters, where the healing waters flow.
Very healthy city.
Yes. So we initially were called Healing Waters.
Oh, okay.
Brewery, and the federal government didn't like that because it suggests some curative value, and so
Well, it's pure beer.
right. Well, I go, well, it's the cure for what ails you.
Ales,
Right.
you got it. That's awesome.
So they said no to that. So we're like, all right. So what we really wanted was something that was very tied to the locale. I feel that a lot of people feel this way, that when it comes to like local breweries or these small microbreweries, you want to capture the location that you are. So we wanted to be very tied to the town, tied to Pinellas County. And so I was going through a history book on Safety Harbor. There's a book Laura Kepner wrote called The Brief History of Safety Harbor, which isn't so brief, and they have some very compelling history actually here.
Right.
And one of the passages said that Safety Harbor sits in Pinellas County, which hangs off the coast of Florida like a crooked thumb.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look on the map,
It's crooked.
Yep,
Right,
and I think of that every time I watch like the weather, the meteorologists.
Right.
Actually, Dennis Phillips is a big proponent of the brewery, but so I watch him mostly. But whenever I see a map, I always see that, and I think of Crooked Thumb. So, but also on top of that, we make handcrafted ales here.
Right.
And so there was a reference to the hand that I liked, and we found it in the history book on Safety Harbor. So it
phenomenal.
checked a lot of the boxes.
That is absolutely. Now let's talk. Okay, let's talk beer.
Sure.
Let's talk ales.
All right.
Talk about them. What do you make?
Yeah. All right. So we've thought about that for a long time too. We did a lot of Belgian style beers when we first started, but we're really American craft brewery, and so we wanted to kind of land in styles that Americans drink.
Right.
And so and that are in some respects popular or help bring popularity to the style.
Right.
And so when we was kind of sitting around trying to, we make a ton of beers. Ken Kenjiro Tomita is our head brewer, trained UC Davis Master Brewers Program, phenomenal brewer,
Right.
and he can make everything. And so what we wanted was some good versatility. We wanted to be able to make some of what they call these more kind of exotic beers, kind of trendy beers in a way, but also make the traditional styles really well. And so that's pretty much what we do. We do fruited sours. We make kind of dessert stouts. We do hoppy beers, IPAs, and we'll do traditional German style beers.
Okay.
And this last year, for example, 2020, Best Florida Beer Competition is the statewide, statewide beer competition for Florida breweries. We won a gold medal for our Grandpa Jack's Pils, which is a traditional German style beer. We won a gold medal for our peanut butter Imperial Stout, which we do for Girl Scout inspired beers every year.
Yeah.
Gold medal for that. So 2 of the 4, kind of big pictures categories, we've won gold medals with in Florida. So we're doing it. We're doing a pretty good job. Kenji's doing a great job of making some good beers. So we make some weird beers, but then we can also make some very kind of traditional, old.
So when someone walks in, they're going to be able to go, oh, I understand the beer.
Right, and and that's the thing about this place is we have a big space outside, and Safety Harbor is a good mix of people, right? So we've got a lot of artists, we have authors, and just kind of entertainment, media people, and then we've got a lot of families here in Safety Harbor. We're getting more and more kind of empty nesters that are coming here, so we've got a wide group of folks from an age standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, from a political standpoint. So we want to offer a lot of different beers.
A little bit of everything for everybody.
So we get a lot of, like we have, like this beer that we have here is our 727 Gold Ale. It's the lightest beer that we have. So when people come in, they say, oh, what's your lightest beer? Or they want, what's your macro kind of beer? We don't really do those beers, but we do our kind of,
your version,
a little more robust version of those beers. And the Gold Ale nails it. So we have the beer for that. People want sour beers. We make sour beers. They want hoppy beers. Some people don't like, hop. They think it's bitter. We make, beers in that category as well. So, you come on and we've got 15 plus beers on tap at any given time.
Now this location is huge. You also have a 555, which is the address, but the 555 project, is it?
Yeah, Project 555 is our kind of hoppy ale series. It's a rotating tap here. Probably quarterly, I would say. Kenji comes up with a new hop combination. The grain
master creator back
yes, just to kind of get different notes. And you'd be surprised with hops how you can get real fruity notes, kind of mango-y notes, pineapple, tropical, but then you can also get these kind of resinous, dank kind of things too. So you can do a lot with just hops, which you probably wouldn't think.
I wouldn't have thought. I thought the hops is made for this, and this is the taste you're going to get.
Yeah, no, you can get a lot of aromas change, and you can get a lot of good kind of floral and tropical notes from different hop combinations. And so we do. We also make beers with fruit too. We make sour beers, a Berliner-based beer that we treat with a lot of different type of fruit combinations that are becoming increasingly popular.
Now, so I'm looking at the property, and if you saw what we're looking at, there's this big, huge courtyard, and it looks like you can fit a couple hundred people out there.
Don't tell the fire marshal.
No, I would never. He's not watching today.
No, we can, and it's perfectly legit. That was what kind of drew me to the property. What I've always liked about Safety Harbor is its natural beauty, and so. This has a very kind of parkland kind of vibe to it. We got these old picnic tables out there, a canopy of oak trees. Safety Harbor is known for its live oaks.
Yeah.
And so it's very much like going to Philippi Park, just kind of hanging out here.
Right.
The other thing is I'm a musician, and so what I really was also wanting was a place for live music, an outdoor place for live music. I don't know if you're familiar with Skipper's Smokehouse in Tampa, okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the first places I went to when I came to Tampa 18 years ago now. And I love that place. And I thought, I live over here. There's nothing like that here. We're not nearly as big as the Skipper Dome is here, but just to have an...
you got a good size going on here, brother.
Pretty good size place. But like to have a place outdoors, kind of under the trees, outside at night, I like that vibe. So we have a lot of plans right now. Actually, we have plans at the city right now for approval for a covered stage in the back corner. So we'll be able to, maybe do a little bit more with kind of touring musicians and a little bit, a bigger presence of music here.
But you do music. I think it's Friday and Saturdays?
We do, we do. We have live music every Friday and Saturday. We also, on the second Tuesday, we used to do every Tuesday, we do it second Tuesday of every month, the Melody Artisans of Crooked Thumb are here. Josh Riley, who's a great friend of mine, actually encouraged me to do open mic for the very first time.
Nice.
And set me on this path. He works here. He's also a terrific singer-songwriter in his own right, and he hosts songwriters circle. So it's open to everybody, but he prompts you with a theme, and then you know, every 2 weeks, or it's once a month now, they come and they perform that song, as well as a bunch of other stuff, but it's always original music. So you come on Tuesday night, second Tuesday every month, to anyone who has some original music that they want to share, come out and play.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So where can people tell people at home, or all these people that are watching, going, it's almost 4:30. I can go get a beer.
You can get it at 4 o'clock, actually.
Well, there you go. So tell them where you're at.
We are, let's see, so most people that have been to Safety Harbor only casually know where the spa is. The spa is on the east side of Main Street all the way at the end. So if you're at the spa, head west, go 1 block past the Whistle Stop. That's another big landmark.
Right.
And head south, 2 stop signs. And we are on the southwest of Main Street, near the city park. And we've got 6,000 square feet of outdoor drinking space, 2,000 square foot tasting room here. We do have a 15-barrel brew house that we do tours on. And at any time, like I said, we'll have 15 plus beers on tap.
And then tell them just check the website all the time.
Yeah, 555 10th Avenue South. Check the website, crookedthumbbrew.com. That gives updates for live music, when we have new beer releases. If we host a lot of charitable events and community-based events here. We are very dog friendly.
Good.
We encourage families to come during sensible hours, because we got plenty of space for people to kind of roam around and have a good time.
Awesome. All right, thank you for watching today. We really appreciate it. You know, you stuck with us, but we saved the best for last. And you know what? Support your local businesses and support your chamber. We'll see everybody next week on My Chamber TV.
Thank you. Cheers.